So I've been pushing for what, like an hour and a half. And it's almost like every 3 minutes they're saying, he's coming in 5 minutes, or he's coming on the next push. It was constantly getting really, really excited, and then like, it's not happening. And I don't know how people, I mean, some people push for like 8 hours.
Dude, this was intense. Like, I mean, I thought
like
it was the
blacking
next
out.
push. I thought he was there, and then he'd just get like sucked back up.
I know. And I even said at one point to the people, I work out. He's supposed to be here like an hour ago. And they kept reassuring me. Obviously, as a new mom, you are gonna push longer, but I thought like an hour and a half was an eternity.
I'm sure it felt like
it definitely felt like an eternity.
So then this guy steps into the room who we hadn't seen before. He's wearing all black scrubs. He steps out of the room, and come to find out later, he happened to call our doctor to find out where she was, and she was 15-20 minutes away. He had been listening to the monitors just outside of our room and didn't like
He didn't like Camden's heartbeat. He didn't like the irregularity of it, I guess.
So he steps back into the room, introduces himself to me, and I realized that he's a longtime friend of my mom and stepfather. And so I started to feel a little bit comfortable, and he looks at me and he's like, well, we're working with good loins, let's have this baby.
And I'm over here going like, yeah, let's have this baby.
And then he looks at the nurse and he's like, get me the kiwi.
Which time? What was the one food I craved my entire pregnancy?
Kiwis.
We did some stats, okay? It was like 560 freaking kiwis that I've eaten during this pregnancy, and Brent did numbers.
Approximately 70
pounds worth of kiwis. So the doctor turns around, oh, we obviously don't know what the heck a kiwi is.
I don't know what a kiwi is. And so apparently it's this, vacuum suction device, and he grabs the kiwi, puts it on Camden's head, and sucks Camden out.
Oh my gosh. But I was born with a cone head, okay? And there's a running joke in the family about the cone head. And as Camden's coming out,
his head looks like the alien, from the movie. Like, it's like a banana-shaped head. And I'm like freaking out a little bit, because I'm not sure if like they just did something to the baby to like save her life, or like what's going on. Who is this guy? I know he just stepped in, and like I did have this trust with him because I've known his name for years. So like I wasn't sure. And
at the same token, it was like, oh my gosh, but the baby was there, so it didn't.
The baby was there, and it happened in like 8 seconds, just like this like craziness of like pushing for an hour and a half plus. And then, like, in a whirlwind of about 8 seconds, he's here, we're hugging, Camden's on her chest. It's just like magic. We took him over to weigh him. He was 8 pounds on the dot.
Big boy.
Yeah, 21 inches long, and it was just beautiful. He's perfect and amazing. It was great.
Yeah, they even put his little footprints on his shirt. We got his footprints on some cute little baseballs. Crazy. And it all started at what, like noon that day. Mm-hmm. And by 9/17, what day? On the 18th?
2 days after Easter.
2 days after Easter.
Yeah, and so I went out to tell the grandparents, Camden's grandparents, that he had been born, and they were actually like waiting right outside his room, not in the lobby, because they weren't sure what's going on. So that was kind of another like kind of like beautiful chaotic moment. But they came in, they met Camden.
The family was united.
A very special moment. It was very cool. We took tons of pictures, just had a few hours with him.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because we planned a lot.
I don't know if you know, but I like checklists, and I like to have things organized. And so for me, it's a calming mechanism whenever everything's planned out.
This situation, like you can't prepare for everything. You're not gonna know everything that's gonna happen.
There were so many highs and lows that I hope that anybody that goes through this just braces themselves for that moment where it's like a roller coaster ride. You're going up, and there's a struggle, but then you're dropping and your stomach's dropping and you're like, ah, and well, I was screaming the whole time. I don't know what I was talking about. But at the end of the day, it all led to the moment where we got to meet our little man. So it was totally worth it.
Totally beautiful. And it is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And we are so blessed to have our little boy.
And so excited that we got to share it with you guys.
Thank you for sharing in our birth story. This is the last video in this series, so if you want to watch the other ones...
Yeah, they're in the description below. We've put a link to the playlist where you can check them all out.